Hey everybody, it's Anchorman here, back to review you guys today, and I just finished Far Cry Primal, so it's time for me to do a review and answer the question, should you buy Far Cry Primal? The story revolves around Takar, a caveman separated from his group known as the Winja in a new land called Oros, which is being contested between the brutal poison-throwing Udam and the brilliant fire-wielding Izila. Takar is tasked with unifying the Winja in a new village and claiming Oros as their own. Takar must take over the outpost, rescue Winja, and defeat both Ul of the Udam and Batari the Sun Daughter. I found all the specialists like Urki and Karush and others were enjoyable characters to talk to, but fit the same Far Cry stereotypes we've come to expect. So, despite the language barrier in this game, it's easy enough to follow. There's no real hard narrative like past games, no charismatic villains or character development really. None of that stuff is here. In terms of graphics, the graphics in this game are just top notch with great visuals, steady frame rates on Xbox One, and overall just a beautiful setting. Whether it's the snowy north where you see the wind whipping around your feet and the snow on the woolly mammoth's furs shaking off when they charge at you, or even when you're in the south with the open plains and rich blue sky, the game is beautiful and there's no denying that. Definitely the best looking game that's come out this year so far. Now, the majority of the gameplay revolves around resource gathering and capturing outposts, for the most part the same old for Far Cry. To get new skills or new upgrades for your weapons, you must find specialists in the world and gather the resources necessary to build their huts and do their missions, and then you'll be able to upgrade your weapons and gather new skills. Now they've removed some of the Far Cry mainstays like the wingsuit and guns, but it works for the most part in the time period. It makes you feel a little, take more of a methodical approach to things, to taking out bases, and for the most part it works, but I developed pretty much the same strategy for almost every fort due to a limited weapon selection. Now, missions in this game are pretty similar stuff. Hunting missions, drug trips, taking over outposts, blah blah blah, nothing really new. Now, the biggest change of the gameplay is taming beasts and using them as your allies in taking over bases and traveling the landscape. It's cool, but pretty forgettable, honestly. I toyed around with it, and the only real use I had for them was distracting enemies from my location so I could stab them in the back. And also, you can't tame everything in the game. You can only tame bears, lions, tigers, stuff like that. But you can't tame a rhino, which I wanted to do the whole game, but I couldn't do that. In terms of bugs, I've only really encountered one bug, and it had to do with AI pathing, mostly for your beasts. And sometimes they'd be stuck in areas to try to lead you, and I couldn't feed them to get their health back up. Stuff like that. It was just really annoying. Other than that, I really haven't much. I don't really have anything else to report in terms of bugs. So, as you guys know, I try to avoid number scores and instead focus on price. So if we got like a $20 indie game, we can judge it based on that and how much it costs. Far Cry Primal is a good game. I see it as a very necessary game in the franchise, but mostly because they wrote themselves into a corner. I'll probably make another video on that later. And it was refreshing to play for the setting, but ultimately it just did not leave that big of an impression. It's another busy work resource gathering title in an interesting setting, and that works to its advantage. I'd say that if you found this game for about $35, $40, it's worth a pickup, but it's not really worth a $60 release. Not based on the value of past Far Cry games, at least. Anyway, guys, this is Anchorman signing out. Hope you guys enjoy this game and enjoy the video, and I will see you guys later.